everyone. This is a demo presentation for our P2P file sharing project for computer networks. For this demo, we are using 4 peers and we'll be sharing a file named test.mp4, which is a decently large file. And we will be using makefile to compile the Java functions that are in the Java file. And then we'll be correspondingly start the peers one by one in separate terminals. So as you can see, we have compiled the Java file and we have started the peer process one by one. Alongside we start the peer process, we are also able to see that each of the log files are also getting generated while we start the peers. So the first and foremost thing that happens is loading of the configuration files. The first file that is loaded is common.config, in from which we are getting the neighbors, unchoked interval, optimistic interval, and other kinds of information about the file that we have. Also, from the peerinfo.config, we are having we are getting the information about the peers that we are interacting with. For now, we are using 4 peers, and the first peer has the file. So we can see that initially it has loaded the file test.mp4 and it has loaded its 6742 pieces, and now it is ready for sharing it to the preceding peers. It has initialized the connections between the peers, and the exchange of messages will be explained by my partner.
So after initializing connections with the preceding peers, the uh, the peer starts listening on the port that is assigned to it, and then it accepts the connection from the different peers, for example, peer 1002. So after sending a handshake reply to peer 1002, it sends a bit field to this peer, and it receives the peer 1002's bit field as well. So after receiving the bit field, we can see that peer 1002 has no pieces. So the peer starts receiving the interested message from peer 1002. As soon as we connect with one peer successfully, we start determining the preferred neighbors, and we start doing the choking and unchoking mechanisms. So the peer 1002 is unchoked, and then we send the unchoked message to peer 1002, and the preferred neighbors list is updated. After which we can see that the peers receives the piece from peer 1002. So the pieces are selected randomly, and then it sends the corresponding piece back to peer 1002. So since the first peer has the complete file, it sends all the pieces to peer 1002 and the other peers as well. For example, peer 1003 as well as peer 1004. We can see, for example, for peer 1002 that after it has successfully done the handshake with peer 1001, they start sending and receiving the bit fields as well as performing the choking and unchoking mechanisms. Then the peer 1002 sends the request for a particular piece and then receives the corresponding piece. So as you can see, slowly the peer uh, receives all the pieces for the file. And we can see that it has after peer 1002 has completed all its pieces, it will then start sending uh, So we can see that file reassembly is complete for peer 1002. So it starts broadcasting the message itself to the other connected peers. The same is happening for peer 1003 as well as peer 1004. We can see that they send and receive uh, different types of messages. For example, the have message, the request message, the sending piece message, as well as the interested messages. So we can see that it is sending not interested, as well as it is also receiving interested messages from different peers. After this process is completed, we can see that we have successfully closed the log file for each peer. We have performed all the uh, shutdown mechanisms. Uh, for example, the choking scheduler shutdown, as well as closing the active connections and closing the log file as well. And we can see that this happens for all the peers. We can also see that all the peers have shut down in the terminal as well. And we can see that all the peers have received the test.mp4 file successfully. So this was the demo for our project. Thank you.